to them it's just a passing comment, but then I get home and I think, wow, is my service really that bad? It makes me emphasize if I'm thankful for something to someone. It makes me emphasize if I'm happy about something to someone, because when I have done a good service and stuff and the passengers are getting off and they are hugging me goodbye and they are so happy about the service that I offered them, that makes me feel on top of the world. But if you get a passenger that just walks past you while you're saying goodbye or while you're welcoming them on board, then you're kind of just like, I know I'm not invisible. You know, like it's a little bit like, oh, okay. Little things like that, it makes me realize how important it is, the way that I say something and the way that I speak to other people. So I'm really glad that my job has opened my mind to that. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. Those were my pros and cons of this job. Just to recap, the 3 cons were the fact that it is difficult to maintain friendships. Working alone is also really difficult, and it does end up being lonely. And just receiving angry comments and having to try to calm down angry passengers or upset passengers and drunk passengers, that is a little bit difficult. And then the 3 pros that I mentioned were just getting to meet all these cool different people every day, and it's always a different bunch of people every day. And then the fact that I love how unique this career is. And then the 3rd was that I love that this career forces me to prioritize my health. Hi guys, it's me, Andy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an updated video on the pros and cons of being a flight attendant. I have made this video before, but unfortunately it was one of the videos that I had to delete. So I'm going to redo it with new pros and cons. I think the old ones are still valid though. I will link those in the beginning of this video just in case you've missed that video. I do think that the old ones are still valid, but this is a little bit more of an update, and this is what I have found to be the pros and the cons basically in my recent time as a flight attendant. Like in the last few months, this has been what I have found to be the most positive and the most negative parts of this job. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I hope that you enjoy what you see. I hope you check out some of my other videos, and if you enjoy them, then please consider subscribing to my channel. Okay, so once again I'm going to start with the cons for this video, and the first one is that this job is tiring. And I don't mean tiring like, oh, I went to gym for an hour and now I'm tired. No, I mean it is tiring. It is basically borderline exhausting to be a flight attendant. It takes such a toll on your body. You don't realize it the first time you start. Like you think, oh, it's going to be so great, I'm going to be able to see all these amazing places. But if you have 4 flights in one day, that is 4 takeoffs, 4 landings. That is stress on your body, being that high, being at that high of an altitude and then coming back down and then going back up and then coming back down and being in that pressurized tube all that time. It's just, it takes a strain on your body. Sometimes you don't really realize it until you are just flat out tired, but it is a very tiring job. Not only physically but also mentally, I find it to be a tiring job, just because you're always having to think on your feet. You're always dealing with so many different types of people, especially if it's negative feedback that you're getting, then it usually takes kind of an emotional and mental strain on you. So yeah, that can be very, very tiring. The second con is the constant studying and assessments. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but I hate being examined and assessed. I hate it. Like this is just one of the things that I absolutely hate. Like I don't know, it's so strange. Like I can stand in front of the plane and make my announcement and do my demo perfectly every single day and it's fine. But when I have to do my recurrent and there's an assessor sitting in front of me and telling me to do my demo or do my announcement, suddenly I am falling over my words. Suddenly I barely remember the end of it. Suddenly I am just a nervous wreck. I just don't like it. I don't know why I don't like it. And it's just
Also, just as a part of this job, it kind of sucks that like every year you kind of have to prove that you deserve to do this and that you know your job. I mean, you can spin it positively because at least you know that the airline industry is such a safety focused industry that they make sure that their crews are on top of their game every single year. So that is the positive way to look at it. But as a cabin crew member that has to get assessed every single year, it can just suck. It just sucks sometimes, you know? The third con is that there are a lot of rules in aviation. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there are a lot of rules. I think a lot of passengers have a tough time dealing with it when we're saying, sorry, those are the rules, you have to switch your phone off, or sorry, those are the rules, put the tray table away, blah, blah, blah. You know, and to them it's just like the one flight, but for us it's every single day. We are constantly following these rules, and I feel like if you're wanting to be a flight attendant and if you don't do well with rules and following rules and being told what to do on a constant basis, then you're probably gonna struggle with this job, because you can't be the type of person that is bothered by this many rules. You can't be the type of person that wants to defy everything and do things out of spite all the time. You just need to be one of those people that are really easygoing and you don't mind following rules and you don't mind being safety conscious. So yeah, take that into consideration if you're trying to become a flight attendant. Okay, and then the last con of being a flight attendant is that small moments can really ruin your day. It's funny because you can have a really good flying day, and on your last flight, one passenger might just say one thing, or we might get one little delay, or you might hear something from a fellow crew member. It's just small little moments can ruin your day. And it's funny because people are always saying, oh, it's fine once you get off the plane, it's okay, you never have to think about that passenger or that encounter with that passenger ever again, you never have to see that passenger again, and you just let it roll off your back. And for the most part that's completely true, but I mean, we are humans at the end of the day, and some days we're just a little bit more sensitive than others. Some days we're already really tired or already not feeling our best, so a small moment can really just like push us over the edge and it can just ruin our day, you know? Moving on to the pros. I love to end my videos on a positive note. So I have 4 positives that I want to mention about flight attendant life. The first pro is the flexible schedule. Now, although we do get our rosters and we have to fly at weird hours of the day, it is still a relatively flexible schedule, because once the rosters come out, you're actually able to swap flights and, you know, change up things to suit you better, and it's really easy to do. So if you know that maybe Sunday it's your dad's birthday party and it's starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but you have to work on Sunday afternoon, then it could be really easy for you to swap with another crew member who has morning flights, so that you can do their morning flights and they can take over your afternoon flights, so that you can make it in time for your dad's birthday party or whatever important thing you want to get to. So that's something I really enjoy about this life. Another pro, and this I've noticed more as a charter flight attendant, is that somebody else makes your travel arrangements. I have traveled extensively internationally, and I can tell you the biggest headache is finding yourself a place to sleep that you can afford, getting from the airport to wherever you're staying, or from the bus station to wherever you're staying, knowing how you're going to get places, knowing where you're going to be, knowing what you're going to do when you're there, and like figuring all that out can be such a headache when you're traveling by yourself. But when you work as a flight attendant, you kind of arrive at the airport and there's a shuttle waiting for you, and they take you to your hotel, and the hotel tells you what room you're going to be staying in, and you just go there and everything is usually fine and peachy. You don't have to worry about any of that. You don't have to worry about how much that cost or this or that or how you got there. And that is one of my favorite things, because I hate having to figure that kind of stuff out. The third pro, and I'm pretty sure this is similar to what I mentioned the first time I made this video, and it is that this career is very eye-opening. A lot of us live in our own little bubble, focused on our own little thing and our own little goals and our own little lives from our perspective. And when you become a flight attendant and you start interacting with all of these different people, it's really, really eye-opening, because you realize there are different ways of thinking, you realize there are different ways of living, there are different ways of speaking to people, there are different ways of doing things, you know, and your way might, I'm not particularly saying your way is wrong, I'm just saying that your way isn't the only right way of being, you know. So it's a nice thing, because then you are just you just become exposed to all of these different personalities, all of these different cultures, all of these different people, and you know, it's crazy, but it's very, very eye-opening once you start thinking from other people's perspectives, and once you start considering other people's feelings. I feel like a lot of us need to work a little bit better on considering other people's feelings before we do things, before we say things. And it's funny, even when passengers are being really rude to us, we end up, because you've become a flight attendant, because you're already so used to this, you're the one that actually thinks, oh, actually maybe this guy's having a bad day, and then you end up feeling sorry for them, but they're the ones being rude to you, you know. So then you end up actually having that conversation with the passenger and understanding a bit better where they're coming from, and they can also understand where you're coming from. But I just find it to be a very eye-opening career. It's really cool because of all the different things you're kind of exposed to, all the different crew you're exposed to. I mean, I fly with people that have been flying for like 20 years, and I find that amazing. Like, their perspective and like the way that they see things is so different, and the way that they do things is so different to the way that I do, and the way that I think, and the way that I speak. But I really, really respect it. And so yeah, that's what I love about this career. You come to respect many different cultures, many different people, many different everything. And then my last pro coincides with my last con. And so as easily as a small moment can ruin your day, a small moment can also really make your day. And that's usually what I like to look for when I'm on duty and when I'm, you know, operating a flight and stuff. And just small little things can really make your day. It can be the captain making a funny joke. It can be a baby just coming and giving you a hug and thanking you. Okay, babies can't really thank you, but you know what I mean, like young children coming up to you and thanking you for the awesome flight. It can be the excitement on an old person's face once they've landed. And, you know, it's just all these different things, but like just little moments, man. Like when you just see someone smiling and beaming and like wholeheartedly thanking you for making their flight a good one, like those are just like such feel-good moments. They're just like such fuzzy feel-good moments, and live for those, man. So that's it for this updated pros and cons of flight attendant life video. If you're also a flight attendant, or if you know of something that you think would be a positive and a negative to this lifestyle, then please comment it below. I would love to hear from you. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give it a massive thumbs up. I hope that you all have an amazing day further. Don't forget to spread good vibes and be kind, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.